going up to see Jenny and surprise her with her $5,000 prize. Jenny, congratulations. You're a Bunnings home ground hero.
Pretty honoured and humbled to be a Bunnings home ground hero.
It's overwhelming actually, it's humbling. It's a nice reminder about why I do this.
But yeah, just the whole sense of gratitude, man, and thankful to Bunnings and TNZ.
Sport. What does it mean to us? For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
It starts with touch.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.
Kia ora te whānau whānui and welcome back to the 2023 Bunnings Youth Touch Championships, broadcasting live from Punawai in Christchurch, live on Whakaata Māori. We're about to get into our fifth of the live stream games, and you might hear just outside the tent one of the two teams going hard, getting themselves prepped for this big game. The game is between Tai Tokerau and Wellington under-18 boys, and it's the second game we're seeing here on the live stream with our under-18 rounds. Having not seen the Wellington boys today, but Tai Tokerau, this could be an interesting one, Kev. You seen Wellington at all in your walks around?
No, in terms of for where I've been today, I haven't managed to cross paths with this Wellington group, but very excited to see the matchup here against the Taitaitokoro crew from the north.
We see one of the key names in touch that is just success all over the show, and that's Kake. We got Bruce Kake, and it looks like his whole whānau that is part of the Taitaitokoro team today. Bruce obviously been involved with the Triple T crew up there for quite some years now, and being a part of a lot of the success that they've had up there. So it'll be really interesting to see the style, to see if that's the style taken up from the counties area, and seeing what happens in there.
Yeah, and for those that are watching on screen, we have Taitaitokoro in the left, running from in the light blue, running from left to right. And then on the flip side, we have Wellington in the black and yellow that'll be running from right to left on your screen.
After that pre-game chant from Wellington, Gav, I'm looking forward to this. That was something special.
Our three refs for this game, we've got Charlene Bannister, one of the greatest female mixed players there's been, along with Alicia Ruiti, who is the top female referee in New Zealand for a long time, as Tai goes straight down and score less than 20 seconds.
Yeah, as we see them move into the middle of the field, looking to get a crossover quickie there, and he just isolates the outside shoulder and he's able to throw a nice follow back in, and that's a great assist line there from the player that passed the ball off the deck to be able to run that line and give that follow option, and Taitaitokoro take the lead 1 touchdown to 0.
Do you think that's something that's Wellington here on the back? Oh, nice play. What do we go, 6 again or border ground?
Probably give that one a 6 again, wouldn't we, Maya? I think he sort of had a bit of a swipe at that one, got up in the channel, but I think the swipe in action will give that one away.
I thought it hit him in the hip, but I wouldn't argue with Shah, so great call.
Wellington's well coached here by Alan, who's been through the George Youngke School of Coaching. Good man from Wellington.
Great hit back from Wellington there. Tai looked really sharp and scoring in the first 20 seconds, and Cav take us through the replay.
Yeah, we can see that he tried to isolate the link defender here. It's definitely a zone that's a lot harder to defend now with the 7 metre line to scoreline, and we just see the nice reach out there on the outside foot, and a tremendous reach indeed. It was very long and was able to get the ball to the ground early, and it's what we spoke about earlier, the advantage of being able to get that ball to the ground a lot earlier in terms of in the activation of scoring the try, and that's exactly what Wellington were able to do there, and it gave the ref no option but other to award that try and level this game up.
Tell you what might help there too, Kev, is old Maitarangi looks like he's about 6'1", so he had a bit of distance on that one.
As you see Taitaitokoro looking to come back through attack with a similar play to the last, but this time not looking for the follow option. He was able to just pump a bit of a dummy and go through himself.
Yeah, Kingy and Moon you see here, relatively static, just a quickie play. Kingy gives it back to Moon, fakes him out and goes under, ball down before the touch was made.
Jaden given the old, whatever you can do, Maitarangi, I can do as well.
And it's almost like a couple of these plays that we've seen early on is probably really influential from the likes of the coaching staff that Taitokoro have, and it almost reminds me of some of the moves that I not only used to be up against, but I've witnessed via highlights reels of when it was Bruiser and Hens on the scoreline back in the day.
Oh, great work from the winger there. Good honesty from the winger from Te Taitokoro. And then we have 2 all. I like this. This is the first real game where we've gone tit for tat, and you get one and I'll get one, and you've got another one and I'll get another better one. 2 all. Beautiful pass. Didn't even look before he threw it. Great movement from the winger to catch, stop, step in, go under and put the ball down.
Mate, stop, drop and roll. That dude was low into that try.
Is that a bit of you, Kev, that type of movement?
Down Dan's nightclub.
Yeah, it looked good. He was able to get low, was able to body roll, and then not only was he able to roll one way, but he was able to roll back the other way to avoid the link that was coming across. So great finish from the Wellington winger.
We've gone from 4 games where a lot of the tries have been scored on the outside. I did think, just simply as you said with Bruce, that a lot of the stuff might be in the middle, and we haven't been left disappointed. And again, great setup.
Ball down.
And I think there was just a bit of line awareness there from the Wellington defender. I think he lost track of where he was and stepped back a bit, which opened a bit of space there for the Taitokoro player to be able to bounce back. And we just see there, he just lost his footing there, the number 2 from Wellington, and yeah, number 12 there as well. He was just a little bit too deep in the line, and Taitokoro were able to take advantage of that, and they go out to a 3-2 scoreline.
Let's go Wellington. Let's keep it 3 all.
Unique from Tito. He's got that real strut about him, I think he's involved in that first try, and he's involved in that try there again. He's just one of those cool, calm, collected players, I think, so we'll keep an eye on him through the game.
Yeah, just looking to isolate things down a short side to open up the field, back the other way, but Taitokoro were able to identify that and just stayed nice and square, and then a good defensive read there from the number 10 Rhythm Toa Glasi, and he was able to identify that a late switch was going to come in there, and he was able to double off and make both touches.
He needed to make that too, because Winnie Tunnel was moving at a great night.
As we see them get to their box here, they're looking to get fresh legs onto the field. We can see them presenting their attack back to the middle, picking out a half. Number 5, Kingy, he finds the in goal. He's found it again, and he's dished off to number 7, Reefs Sofala, and another try for Te Taitokoro.
I love this try, Cav. You look at this, I think it's touch 3 or 4. He's not worried about what touch count it is. He's worried about where he is, the position of the field. He's in an attacking zone. So he's just gone out of half and had a good, hard, red-hot crack at it. And hey, if he dishes off and he gets touched, then we've got the most dangerous thing in second phase play. So that's probably the best play I've seen all day. I just love what 5 there, Tiaki Kingy's done.
Yeah, Moon and Kingy, a dangerous duo there. I think they've been on twice down there and converted twice. As we see Wellington on attack. Number 12 from Wellington picks up, scoops through, gets in behind, looking for options. Just unfortunately couldn't connect with one of the supporting players. But a great scoop there by number 12 from Wellington.
Yeah, Maitarangi once again, yeah.
Yeah, we saw him earlier with that dive, and now we can obviously see that he's got to the pick game as well. And I guess it's something over the years that we probably haven't seen a lot of, is that scooping through the middle. You know, a lot of it's normally been to a pass or a pass option. So it's kind of cool to see a little bit of the revolution come back in a bit of a circle to a bit of a touch that we used to be familiar with.
Yeah, we've had a lot of that today, haven't we? A lot of running at a half and on the back of good strong rucking, so it's nice to watch. Like I say, if they go early when they're in attacking position, they're going to get an option for second phase, and we all know what defending second phase is like. It's an absolute nightmare to try and get some sort of shape. Here we go again. They're going to do the same play. Number 1, Wellington. We short pop off. What a dive!
Oh, what's the call?
Beautiful dive.
Touch.
Oh, she's got him on a touch. Great call.
Touch and pass by the looks. Kev, you're talking about the scoop coming back. Why do you think it disappeared? Was it simply that obviously the dummy half who scoops isn't live, and therefore if he gets touched it's a turnover? Why do you think it went away?
I'm not too sure, Maya, to be fair. Like, sometimes it's just trends of the game, and if you're watching something that works, whether it's from your team or from overseas, and that's the trend, then it's highly likely that that's what you're going to try and implement into your game plan, especially more so at a youth level. But with the distance of the 7 metre zone now and the more lateral movement that there is, or the lateral gate that's opening up, then it's kind of giving a bit more space for these players that have speed to be able to get on the back end of scoops. And I think we've seen a lot of it today, that people are really backing their ability, that have that speed, and they're taking those opportunities of those holes that are created.
Another forward pass, was it? Just Wellington, unfortunately, just not being accurate with the ball. I think in particular off the ruck, the dummy half pass to the player running onto it. So just a couple of forward pass penalties. I'm sure coach will get the boys to clean it up, and it looked like there was something promising going to happen off the end of that.
I think actually maybe from the replay that we saw, it could have potentially been for 7 on the field, Maya.
Oh, okay.
Just the way that our on-field referee at the moment
That's a
rose
Kaki
his
here.
hand.
There you go. Kaki's in the corner. How about that hairdo? It's a beauty.
Could you pull it off?
Mate, I'm going a bit grey now, so I might have to try and pull it off.
Shave it off, you mean?
Yeah, either that.
Just a lovely platform, and then just with those feet was able to disrupt both defenders, and then it's that vision that, Corey, you've talked about all day, and the execution of these wingers being able to catch it out wide. It's just been second to none, and it really shows for a lot of these teams that have had success today.
Maitirangi back in the middle. He's definitely the key player for Wellington on attack, organising things, moving players around where he needs them to be. 33 Peel, step back.
Great feet too. Yeah, the thing I love about Kaki on the wing then, like, he just didn't stay quiet. He really demanded. He knew he had the space. He knew he had the option was on. He made his inside player aware of that. So, yeah, we had some great finishing from the wings today. Can't say I've ever seen a Kaki play on the wing, though. Can you, boys?
No.
I know Boston was, he's pretty sharp in the middle there. It was, just as much as his father was. So maybe we got the young fella starting off out wide.
Tai Tokerau working their way off their scoreline. Oh, some really easy yards there. Wellington player just missing that touch. Going back down the sideline again. We've almost had one of those again.
Yeah,
it's great yards.
Trend.
I think that's the third touch. They're 20 metres off the attacking scoreline. Plenty of touches up their sleeve. Just taking a set, let us set it up.
And this is probably the confidence that Bruce has given this team, is to play that eyes up footy, and they're not afraid to throw the ball around and take the opportunities when they're expressed, as we see them here scooping into the end goal with a lovely left to right pass. And it's that same player, Kaki, out in the corner, crossing for his back-to-back. He gets his second off a lovely pick through the inside, and a lovely left to right pass to finish in the corner.
Look at Unique here. He's real smooth out of half, and he's just got all the time in the world, skips through. The pass on these kids, man, is amazing. Like, that just looks so easy. It's probably 25 metres, and it's just off a flick of a wrist. So, yeah, Unique's going well, and well dotted down for Kaki again on the wing.
Even just the patience that some of these kids have had today through the girls, the mixed and the boys grade. It just looks like they're not phased. Like, I can remember when I was running around in the middle, and it seemed like the pressure was on straight away and you had to get rid of the ball. But for some of these kids that are running around today, it just seems like they've got all the time in the world to be able to make this decision. And not only are they making that decision, they're making the right one.
Yeah, Cavs, I think that's got a lot to do with all the coaching work too, brother. Like, you got Alan here and Bruce here, and these kids are just confidence to play. back in our days, we had Hoon Yarn and I was screaming at us no matter what we did. And if it wasn't him, it'll be Leon Skinner or Chopper or Benny or someone giving you a good old serve.
No, Chopper didn't yell, did he? It's like an assassin, wasn't he?
He saved that for you boys yelling at you, car parks. Yeah, but in all seriousness, I really do think the coaching's just changed a lot, and I think it really helps these kids to just express themselves. And it's more about the decision as opposed to the outcome. And coaches are well aware of that, so they're rewarding that. So if the decision's made and it was a good one, and even if it doesn't play off and it goes to ground, these boys will run off the sideline. Their coaches will give them a good rap for it. So it's really changed our game a lot, and I think it's made it a lot cleaner and a lot more expressive. Look at that. There you go. Great decision there by number 2 from Wellington.
Yeah, and Tukapua, he won't be denied this time. He looked up with a big smile last time, but the referee gave the touch, but he gave them no opportunity this time to show that the ball was down. And just the same as the Wellington crew down the other end, just unfortunately there for Tai Tokerau, just stepping back beyond the score line and just not being aware of where that line is, and Wellington taking full advantage of that to claw one back with 2 minutes 20 left in this first half.
Really key set of defence here for Wellington. They stifled the momentum. They put one on the board. Oh, did he get him?
The feet on that
Did he get him?
I think she's called the try here, boys. The footwork on this lad is he sweeped around? Where's he come from? Oh, here he goes. He's sweeped around. He's just jammed straight. Look at that. Double step. Yeah, he's just short offside. Leisha's cool play on, ball down. Great try.
And those are the play on calls that you really want to hear from the referees. That if a player is offside, then they're wanting to make sure that they give the attacking team that advantage. Looking for a bit of a right to left pass there. Understood that he was under a little bit of pressure, and that's just good patience there from the Wellington middle, not to throw that ball or get caught in a touch and pass opportunity as he calls his mate in. He wants the quickie on the crossover, looking for a link chopper.
There's our man.
And these kids just dive in anything. How good is it? You go down the park these days and they all get cones out and they slide diving under it. There's just some amazing dives in there. Some of these boys are flying from anywhere.
Maui with the setup, but Maitirangi, you just can't keep him out of it. Great setup, pace, no space. There's no chance he scores that, and he did.
Maitirangi, you don't tell him no. He'll find a way.
I think just the speed that he actually caught that ball above kind of his nipple height to then not only get it from there to the ground in that short space and distance, it just goes to show the calibre of what we're dealing with out here.
Here they go, another chance. It'd be huge if they could score here before half-time with just over 40 seconds to go. If Wellington can get down there and get it back to 5-7 going into the half, having scored 3 of the last 4 tries, it's been a real change and shift in the momentum. They're starting to get on top, and that'll be a great way to enter into the second half as they drive it up with a fresh set. That's our second touch. Ooh, unfortunately, just a bit of a weak carry there. Maybe lost a little bit of focus, forgot what he's up to, just slips out of the hand. Very unfortunate there for number 3, Mihai John.
Yeah, and potentially was looking for that swipe-off scenario there while he was initiating the touch, and the ball just came loose. But Tai Tokerau, they've given the ball back with 6 seconds to go in this half. Wellington will want to go off the back end of this. They'll probably have 1 touch left, potentially, before the hooter. As we hear the hooter, and maybe it's just a little bit too little too late for Wellington in the first half. They were looking to get to 1 more strike, as we see Tai Tokerau taking the lead in here to the after the first half, 7 touchdowns to 4.
We're going up to see Jenny and surprise her with her $5,000 prize. Jenny, congratulations. You're a Bunnings home ground hero.
Pretty honoured and humbled to be a Bunnings home ground hero.
It's overwhelming, actually. It's humbling. It's a nice reminder about why I do this.
But yeah, just the whole sense of gratitude, man, and thankful to Bunnings and TNZ.
Sport. What does it mean to us? For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
starts with touch.
Welcome back to the second half of our wicked game we got going here, Kev, between the under-18 boys from Wellington versus the under-18 boys from Tai Tokerau. And as you've seen up on the screen there, Tai Tokerau currently leading 7-4, but there was a fight back there in the later stages of that first half by Wellington. And Kev, if you want to take us through the highlights of that first half, and there's 11 of them.
Yeah, so as we look to the try-lights, it was kind of a bit of a tit-for-tat scenario to start with, as we see Tai Tokerau using a nice follow play in the middle to open the scoring before Wellington came back down the other end through one of their main attackers, Maitarangi, with a good reach out, was able to cross down to level it up 1-1. And then Triple T, Tai Tokerau just, they used the follow to set up their first one, and then a nice little pump dummy to be able to cross, and then a bit of a mix-up with a right to left pass, and then just some great balance and agility to be able to duck under the toucher of that saving winger for Wellington to go over and get their second. And we could just see like a little moment there where there was a good 5-minute blast here from the Tai Tokerau team, as they showed a lot of patience getting into the in goal and managing to extend their lead out to about 3 touchdowns. And then just before the end of the first half, the Wellington crew, as you'll see towards the back end of this highlight package, they were able to claw a couple back before the halftime break.
Corey, your players for each team, your top player from each team from that first half, who impressed you?
Yeah, I think Kaimani Kaki, he's finished well. Unique, he's, like we said earlier, he's just smooth about it. Those two have gone well. And then over in Wellington, Maitarangi, Ngaho and Brody, they've all played well. I've just popped outside to say goodbye to the girls. And as I was out there, I was thinking, well, that's my daughter's first Bunnings Warehouse Youth National. And her and her friend Jyla have had a great time, so they've headed off now. And hopefully it'll just encourage those girls to stay in the game and maybe have a bit of a goal one day to come and play in one of their own.
Promising start there from Jaden from Wellington, number 5. As Wellington start us off in this second half. Tai Tokerau just working away off their box, getting some fresh subs on. Really good set so far, Kev.
Yeah, it's a conversation that you would have loved to be privy to, just the amount of respect that I have for the impact that Bruce has had on the game. I hold him in high regard with some of his attacking ability, and he was able to do things that I believe that you weren't able to coach. So it would have been cool to potentially hear what advice and experience he's giving to this Tai Tokerau 18 boys team, and I'm looking forward to see what they're going to put out into the field through the second half.
Yeah, he was incredible. He was unique in many ways, and the amount of times I reffed a lot up in the counties, and particularly with my brother up there, and I'd see him in the box as number 1 from Wellington tries to slip through. I'd see him in the box, and it looks like there's no chance he can go back on, and the team needs him. He just steps up, steps out, and just does something that no one in the whole stadium thought he was going to do, and just so many times, I wouldn't say carried, but it seemed like that he would just really get those teams that he played for, whether it be Bullets or counties, just get them across that line. He was incredible to watch.
And I guess you said earlier in the day about a referee's worst nightmare was someone that could pick up an intercept. Well, Bruiser was one of those guys that was able to just find something in the middle of the air, and that was something that I always remember about him. He was always able to find an intercept, and he'd be able to create that off of nothing.
Yeah. He always tended to find someone to pass it to finish that intercept as well. Then, just so unselfish that, hey, you go run the next 70 for me. Sweep round play from Tai Tokerau. What's the call here from the ref? Was it a touch? Looks like going with the touch.
Is it Kaimani moved into the middle here, boys? I feel like he was dotting down on the wing earlier. Or was that his brother? It's a Madison. I've got a Madison khaki here as well.
There's Madison there, number 12, just in the link spot, left of our screen.
Oh, great work there from Sofala. He was able to score one in the first half, and now he's managed to set one up in the second half to open the account for Taitaitokoro.
Tua Martin goes in for another try. Actually, I think that's where I've gone wrong. I've got the hairdos mixed up. Tua Martin and Kai Manikaki have got the same duo.
It's the key touchdown in the game for me is the first one after the half-time break. Real key touchdown there from Taitaitokoro.
Defensive penalty earlier just has really opened up the gates for Taitai. It's a real coach killer, touch 4, and they defended quite well, and then they've given that penalty away, and then Tua Martin goes in for another try.
It probably really has been Wellington's downfall after some tries have been scored. Just their ruck control, getting back into it from that tap off. A few instances, they've made touch 1, touch 2, and then it's been their own worst enemy dropping the ball that they really haven't been able to capitalise like they did earlier on in the game when it was going a little bit tit for tat.
Yeah, it's that Alan would just go back to the drawing board here. The boys, I heard them outside earlier talking about showing some energy. A lot of whānau back home watching this on TV. So they just get through their processes here, go a bit more direct, and then just get a simple strike off the back end of it, whether it's just running out of half or a sweep or whatever it may be. They could just claw themselves back into this game one try at a time. So we'll slow down a little bit here. I would have liked to have seen a bit more flow and a bit more energy running into this last one, but hey, it might work out here. Come short side. Still got a early release, but unlucky. At least he cut through there, old Jaden.
Good mirroring defence there from the link too. He cut space between player and ball, and then when they were able to try and throw that little latching pass out the back, it hit the back of the Taitaitokoro defenders, so great mirroring defence.
Boys are working hard out there. We've got one sitting down the box, couple haunching over, so Wellington look over from their box and see that sort of attitude, and they can, as we say that though, number 9 just blasts out of half. Righty, they're moving. Good.
I guess that's something we've seen from this Taitaitokoro team. It doesn't matter who's getting into half or who's the one setting the platform. Like, there's a lot of trust amongst this group that it doesn't matter who's on the back end of their sets. Like, anyone's going to be able to create something, and I think this is the confidence that they're playing with, and it's quite reflective of what the scoreline is at the moment, that they're taking their chances no matter who's in behind picking that ball up.
Now, I guess you look at the coaching too from Bruce, as you were talking about before, and I remember back in the day playing against those guys, and their style's almost like we don't have positions on attack. Yes, we have positions on defence, but when you're in attack, where you land, so you play what's in front of you. And I think we've seen that. We've seen their wingers coming through the middle and running out of half as well, or setting plays up. So yeah, it's a great style to play. I'm loving this game, boys.
And I guess when you look at that, it can potentially be hard to coach against if you're in that other box, because you're not too sure what's going to be coming at you.
Yeah, well, especially when you got Alan on the other side of the box. He's probably used to playing quite structured teams, robotic like almost. Go touch 1, 2, 3 here, but Bruce is really showing a picture here that Alan may not have seen in a long time. But he's adjusted well, and he's got 8 minutes to go. So like I said before, if he can score one at a time, this might help too. At least he's given the boys a penalty.
There's just a bit of that IQ, I think, from Maitirangi there. Coming on, 4th touch. Probably thought I might be able to get a penalty here, and played the game.
Yeah, another player that I've been kind of just keeping an eye on is number 10 here for Wellington, Mauri Winitana Pātalasio, and just the intent that he's bringing both ends of the field. Like, he's playing with some real urgency, and I think that's something that Wellington definitely needs, especially with only 7 minutes 30 left in this second half, that if a few more boys can kind of bring the urgency that he's bringing, then the intent's going to be a lot stronger, as we see that man Maitarangi Arahanga trying to create something down a 33 lane, and there's that dive that he had, and Alicia's going to have to make a decision.
Ooh.
She's going to get a try.
Talk us through this one.
Well, obviously, player health and safety is the key concern for the referees, and the defending player there, and the attempt to make a touch is striked out with his foot, which is just an absolute no-no, and as a result has been temporarily put down to the end of the field for a few sets.
How long do we play for now, Maya? Down to 5 players on defence. Oh, he has put his foot out too. It's almost a karate kick.
couple of sets each team there, Corey.
Sorry, mate, it's about rolled you under the bus on that one, didn't I?
So obviously with the sin bin, for those of you that are watching at home, the team that has had the sin bin effective will play with 5 players, and the reflection of that is the T sign that Alicia gave, which meant that they have to go for time. And these can vary, because I know that when we're at a World Cup, it's for 3 minutes rather than two sets of play, or 2 sets of advantage, so to speak. So there's some different rules out there for different circumstances. As we can see that we're clawing into the final stages of this second half here. So Wellington with a 1-man advantage. They'll be looking to execute there, as we see them kind of find that extra bit of space, and they're looking to play with a little bit more expansion here, looking to go through the middle.
You're interested to see what they're just going through their hands here. Yeah, nice eyes up footy, but I think they've caught a forward pass there on the last try. You're interested to see what the coach plays here, whether they've got a specific play that they'll go to, especially being down to 5. I don't know, do you have a play you run with, Cav, if you're attacking 6v5? I know myself personally, I just love a simple old peel and get a 3v2.
Yeah, like a 32 short is a great setup, because you're executing that overlap almost like immediately from the get-go. But I think as well, like just kind of thinking back to a similar style that you probably were a trailblazer for, of just keeping the ball moving and creating those lateral movements. Like it's so hard to recover when you're a man short, and we see there from Taitaitokoro, just through them exploiting what they have in their footwork, they were almost able to do that to Wellington, but that ball over the top just wasn't able to go to hand in terms of the put down, and it's just slipped out of his grasp, unfortunately, there.
Is that the old slam dunk though, coming back to haunt him maybe? The coach might have a chat to him about that one.
That's great work though, that, you know what I mean, to be down a player and
100%.
to score 5v6. I mean, momentum wise, emotionally, that would have been huge. Maitirangi with the ball now, picks, goes open side.
He's worked hard, hasn't he, Maitirangi? Here he is again on the ball. He's like a young George Youngkie. Goosey step. Oh, here we go. Sweep, just like you said, Cav. Just keep that ball moving.
I think that was a touch.
Yeah, it's going to be a 50-50 call, this one. Charles looking. Oh, they're going to give that one. That's really put Wellington back into it. I looked over at the score before, and I'm not too sure.
I'm not normally
might have
wrong.
Been corrected.
I think this will be a touch.
Are they looking at it again, or are they giving it?
They're giving it.
Well, then it's a try. Oh!
I'll just let the camera do the talking. As Wellington score a try and go 6, is that? 6-8 Wellington?
Maitirangi. Goosey step, sweep, wrap, try in the corner.
And I'd just like to give some props to our cameramen out there today. You know, they're providing some great angles for us here in the commentary box, and especially when we get to go to these replays that we're able to commentate for you at home. The way that they've been able to capture some key moments has been awesome, and it definitely helps us here in the commentary box. So keep it up, team.
Wellington's coming back here. I'm going to pick an exciting end to this.
Yeah, I wish you could have drop-offs on day one.
How good. Oh, the flick pass. I just love it. I love these young kids. They just express themselves. They just play footy. They'll just get the ball however they can. Here we go, out of half on 1. Touch 1. He's off 10. He's got a bit of speed. He's got someone chasing. There's a dive and an offload. Ball down.
Great chase down from the Tai Tokerau player.
Touch 1 and we're going.
Trying to catch the number. No one was going to stop him. No one except...
I'm going to take a guess that might have been Rai Ranui.
That ball's just kind of dipped away at the end, hasn't it?
Number 9, Rai Ranui. What a chase.
Jinx.
For me, that's effort of the day. Like,
yeah, bro.
When the tides are kind of turning a little bit and the pressure's on, like that's the moment, and then you can almost put that try that they've just executed down to the effort that happened down the other end of the field. Like without that chase, they wouldn't have got that opportunity. So hats off to Ranui for that amazing effort.
Yeah, I think this try here by Jaden might put this game to bed. popped out the back. Jaden just trailing up. Nice smarts too, just to pull back a little bit. He's seen Wellington cramping up that other player. He just slows down here, as you see, pulls back a bit, fades off. Yeah, beautiful try. Great finish.
Great vision as well from Madison Kake there. Just was able to get into the end goal. Knew that the middle defender wasn't shutting in, so he had heaps of time. And then when it was kind of bees to the honeypot, he was able to find someone out the back that had cleared space, and just tremendous vision. And that might be all that Tai Tokerau needed to put the nail in the coffin for this one.
Thompson took a pull, loves a dive. He's had another crack at it. We'll go back to that. Like the kids these days just diving 5 metres out, 4 metres out. It's lovely to see.
I tell you what I hated about the refereeing the kids is their agility. I mean, I was trying to read play and I'm thinking it's going left, and it was for about a millisecond, and then they step back right and you're like, oh my gosh, here we go again. But the agility of these kids is amazing.
I love it.
Lucky, I think the Wellington player might have thrown the hand in there, try to knock the ball out, might have got away with one. There we go.
There you go. It's Lincoln Tour.
Talking about touches and talking about Bruce, he used to always touch on the top right shoulder, and that left hand would be knocking the ball out down the bottom.
And I've loved this style of play from Tai Tokerau. Well done, Bruce. This team's what a great style of play to watch. Real entertaining.
Just jumped into the last 14 seconds of the second half. Looks like Tai Tokerau going to win this one. As Wellington here trying to finish on top with a try. Number 5 from Wellington gets through. Jaden finished with a touchdown. And there we go. Great finish there from Wellington. Number 5 from Wellington, Jaden Mauri finishes off for Tai Tokerau to come out on top 9-7.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.